Good? All right. So one of the things that kind of separates a beginner from a more intermediate level of using pressure points is understanding how to hit the pressure point in a way that's going to stretch the nerve. When you stretch the nerve out, you kind of lower the defenses around that. It's kind of like having a guitar string is the example one of my teachers uses. If the string is kind of has a lot of slack in it, you're not going to get a fine note from it. If it's taut, then you can pluck it. It's got a lot of vibration that goes through. Kind of similar with the nerves. So we're going to take a couple of examples. We're going to start with one on top of the forearm here. This is large intestine 10, and it does a good job of showing how stretching the nerve can have a pretty drastic effect on how he's going to feel it. So if I strike this nerve, it's in between the two muscles on top of the forearm. If I strike this straight through, and you can see it's going to have a bit of a body reaction. Yeah. But if I loosen my wrist up a little bit, and I strike this nerve so that it's going to drag the knuckle down along it before really pinching that nerve down, then you're going to start to see a little bit more of a reaction. So again, striking straight in, you get a body reaction from that. Striking and dragging down, what's the difference? No?
What's the difference?
Yeah, how'd that feel?
Not good.
You see more of a reaction as legs start going out. So you get a better reaction from that. I'll show you another example here. On the wrist is lung 8. And this is one that, again, if I pinch it, I can get an effect. But if I just pinch it, then, it hurts. But if I pinch it and pull it towards the bone to stretch it out, then I can control his body with just this point on the wrist. So again, pinching it in towards the bone, that doesn't feel good, does it? All right. But stretching the nerve out and pinching it, just a little bit of pressure brings him down to his knees. Now, stretching the nerve out doesn't have to be just how you kind of hit the nerve to drag along it or pinch it. This can also mean positioning his body so that the nerve itself is stretched out. So I'm going to use an example that is right under the ear, right in front of this muscle right here. And this point is called triple warmer 16 if you want to look at your charts. If he's looking straight at me and I use this point, then it's a little bit surprising, but you're not going to get very much of a reaction from it. So just that, he's still standing, he's doing just fine. If, however, I stretch the nerve by turning his head and use the same point, what's the difference there?
That one hurt a lot.
That one hurt a lot. Okay, so you get a much better reaction. You saw him have to take a moment. If I hit you there, could you fight?
No.
That's pretty much going to be your, if you can't win the fight after that, even with just that little reaction, then you need to train harder. And if you hit him harder than that, chances are you're going to put him on the ground. You don't need to do anything after that. So, again, all I did was stretch the nerve by turning his head, extending the neck, and striking into the point. Or here, kept the wrist loose, stretched the nerve by pulling along it as I struck. Or here, stretch the nerve by pulling along the arm to get the greater effect. So in each one of your strikes of nerve, think about how you can kind of stretch along or strike along the nerve to get these greater effects, and you'll start seeing your skill develop a lot more quickly than if you don't understand this or you aren't doing this in your own training. Thank you.